Hello everyone and welcome back to the town of Noble's Rest, where Dark Aavak is still wandering around in a bit of a daze. It's been a pretty busy, pretty trying last couple of days, and Dark Aavak needs a bit of a rest, but that does leave us with a bit of a problem. We've got a lot of bodies in the freezer and a lot of bodies still outside that we don't want to waste. Now, obviously, expanding the freezer will be good, and having a larger corpse stockpile, honestly, I kind of worry that that might be encouraging me to stockpile corpses in a way that I'm not really wanting to. But, ooh, are you heading off to bury? Then it's a problem. But they have been, rotted, so that's not too much of an issue. Now, currently Dark Aavak is the one that will typically butcher, but... And here is the big but. Not the only one who can. We need someone who doesn't mind a little bit of... here we are, bloodlust. I think we might be okay with this. Pepster gets a rush from hurting people and never minds the sight of blood or death. She is 4 times as likely to start a social fight. Pepster? I'm going to trial Pepster butchering. Let's have a quick look. We're going to switch this to Pepster. There we are. And I'm going to allow one person to be butchered, because if this goes wrong, Pepster's mood is going to bottom out so aggressively. It's going to be pretty bad, actually. Pepster, for the time being, let's get you down here. Go, go, go. Let's get you there. Now, I could go through here and just make sure that everyone has to have some cooking skills so they don't accidentally give everyone food poisoning. Seems okay. The emergency ones, it's literally anyone who can cook should cook. But generally speaking, I still want it to be at least 4. But let's see if Pepster gets a massive mood debuff from this. We will see it in a moment. Now, Pepster won't mind seeing the corpses. That's not a biggie. But butchering them, this might be something very, very different indeed. We're about to find out. Now, it's either psychopath or bloodthirsty that can do this. It may be psychopath, and we're about to find out. And I'm terribly sorry for using you as a bit of a guinea pig here, Pepster. But you understand, we really do need to not waste food. That's cardinal sin in this colony. Let's speed up time a little bit, because Pepster's not very good at cooking, and so it takes a very long time to do any work regarding it. Now, let's find out. It doesn't look like... No. Didn't bother them. This is good. Dark Aavak is ravenously hungry. How about you go and grab that? Ah, you're not gonna. No, alright then, fair enough. Okay, well, given that then, time for us to butcher pretty much all of them. Pepster, I would like you to take care of this if you could. Actually, you know what? Do your own thing for now. But I am going to adjust the minimum skill requirement. I don't want people causing food poisoning. Later on, if absolutely necessary, I will adjust that. 4 is about the minimum. I'm going to say with this, I'm now going to give Pepster a rank 2, and this is a very temporary situation. Pepster, go ahead and take care of things. Oh, Bone Dragon's having a bit of a tantrum. He's going to destroy geothermal... What? I fancy that is not actually what's going to happen here. What is in fact going to happen is you're going to stop this nonsense right bloody now. Quickly now, evil friend, let's get over there. Must move fast. Gotta move fast. Alright, try to arrest Bone Dragon. Yeah, no. Now, the thing with this is Bone Dragon has been yoinked and is about to be arrested. Now, currently, Bone Dragon does not have a negative moodlet about being imprisoned. And if I were to say, have evil friend stop what he was doing, Bone Dragon won't get a negative moodlet, as you can see. Now, I just wanted to demonstrate that this is a thing that you can do. Technically, we didn't put them into prison. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It feels a little bit like maybe we are actually, you know, gaming the system, cheesing it a little bit. It's not working the way it was meant to. How would we perceive this? Oh, donkeys have jumped. How would we perceive this event? The negative moodlet is being imprisoned, being sent to jail. But what happened here was just someone grabbed him, gave him a thorough shaking of the shoulders. Snap out of it, you fool, or you will go to prison. And immediately snapped out of it. So, it could be said that this was just a rude awakening, a sharp shock. You know, the equivalent of getting an ice bucket dumped on you to snap you out of some berserker rage. Is that what just happening? That case, and if there are situations where trying to imprison them does not break them out of it, and so you have to put them in prison and then have to tank the negative moodlet, I'm a lot happier with this kind of scenario. But for now, I think I'm going to continue as though that is just massively cheesing the system. Because it feels like it probably is. Do let me know, though, in the comments if you believe that not to be the case. What are you carrying? Is this person rotting, though? I don't want you to stick them in there if they're rotting. If they're not rotting. Stop. Are they rotten? Fresh. Please stop. Oh, no, you've stuck other people in there as well, haven't you? Oh, man. I feel that we kind of need to open these last three and just see which ones are which. Could you please go and open those up? Heat wave is over. Hooray. Hooray. Good times. I need to know who's where. Okay, they are definitely rotting. So they can 100% be dumped. And could you open this one up? Right, they absolutely need to be hauled. That one does not. You do not have room, though. And that means Pepster, as much as I absolutely need you to do this. Because now, unfortunately, we've got a corpse there, which isn't great. Maybe I could set these to only accept rotting. Yes, don't allow fresh. Okay, copy the setting, and we'll paste it across to all of the others. That'll work. Perhaps let's get a couple of these corpses cut up so that we've made room and then we can get more in there. Oh, Dark Aavak is snapped too. Oh, that's fantastic news. Truly. And in this case, Pepster, I'm going to set you to no longer do cook errands after this. There we go. No, you're good. You're good. Absolutely 100% fine. There you are. Dark Aavak, really need you. Oh. Can you not? Let me have a... Oh, that's right, of course. I set it up to be only Pepster, but really it should be Dark Aavak. Right, area reveal. Let's go and have a quick gander. Oh, runs up behind. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm not happy about that. But let's get our latest donkeys to pop into the coop. So, we've got a breeding pair of donkeys. Oh, now this is good. This is rather good. That is continuous amounts of meat right there. Also, haulers, no less. I approve quite a lot. I approve mightily. Could we get... Oh, actually, could you haul them in? Let's just get them out from there. There we go. And now the rest can be butchered, if needs be. There we are. Go grab them, and then finally start butchering. We're going to want to get through as many of these peeps as we possibly can. Now, the temperature outside is not too bad. It's good. Very good, in fact. How's the temperature in here? It's getting better. How's the temperature over here? That's actually quite nice. Okay, things are coming together. Now, we are going to replace a good many of the lost spike traps, I would imagine, and that is a priority that we need to deal with. So I hope that they can get that one done fairly quickly, ideally. Food binge. Uh-oh. As soon as you're done there, could you cook on the stove? Because Ica is about to... okay, well, you know what? Drinking the milk... Mind you, it's an entire bloody bucket of milk. That's quite a lot of milk to consume in one go. I'm not going to lie, Ica. That's a lot. You'd have to be particularly unhappy about the situation to want to eat your feelings by drinking a huge bucket of milk. Well, you do you. As long as it makes you happy at the end of it. There we go. Let's get some of these food items sorted out. There we are. Things are getting a little bit better. Now, Ica is going to go through a lot of this, unfortunately. But the plus side, Ica is also the one that makes a lot of this food possible with their hard work in the farm. So I'm actually okay with that. There we go. Getting them buried. Fantastic. All right, we are back on top of things to a small degree. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell Dark Aavak to stop butchering humans for now. And we'll wait. we'll wait for a little bit. Now, it would be nice if we had so much human meat that I could afford to get Dark Aavak some delicious... Oh, why are we... well, actually, those are tainted flak pants, so that's fine. Would be nice to see Dark Aavak get some long pork meals. That would be very nice, actually, but we'll see how that goes. For now, I think we're going to stick with the bulk vegetarian meals and just the odd long pork meal. We've got enough coming in right now. Ooh, that was one from somewhere else. Where did they come in from? I was not expecting any more deliveries of food, but I am pleased to see them all the same. Okay, well, things are progressing somewhat. Tattered apparel is still a problem. Bone Dragon, what part of your tattered apparel exactly? Let's have a quick look. Really? The t-shirt. Okay. Okay, we should be able to get something together for you reasonably soon, I would hope. We will. Well, actually, there's a button-down shirt right there. I wonder why Bone Dragon isn't going for that. A bit of a strange one, but overall things are going okay. The ambrosia sprouts, they keep trying. Bless them. Nature is looking for a way, but it hasn't quite found one yet, and they probably won't for quite some time. Ambrosia sprouts 100% cannot grow indoors. Now, whether ambrosia sprouts are considered trees or not, I don't know. It may be possible for us to build an enclosure over an ambrosia bloom like this and put down some grow lights, and thus give it an opportunity to grow in the toxic environment. But whether we go to that much effort, I'm really not sure. Let's have a quick look through. You're doing okay there. Evil Friend, you're doing fine. Ica is okay-ish. I mean, you're missing lots of parts, which is never quite okay, but, you know, it's certainly not the worst either. But there we are. All right, we're starting to get things going. That human leather dusted is almost finished. But are you going to start? Oh no, it's button down shirt. Okay. Well, we'll see where that goes. We've got quite a lot of materials flowing into the colony now. But I'm going to give our pawns a little bit of time to get some more of all of this stuff moved around, and hopefully we will even get this little place set up with a machining table. Got a couple of other more important projects to fix right now, namely the coolers for our ranch, but we will get there shortly, I hope. So I will bring you back when there is something new to report. It is the 15th of August, and I welcome you back to blowback operations being complete, which means the next item in our research queue is finally gun turrets, and that will give us a meager amount of defense. As you may notice, we have managed to expand out our storage room over here quite substantially, and we're going to continue to expand this for a little while, though well, that being said, I may just replace this wall, but I'll probably leave a door or something like that so we can access this rear area. I've got some plans for this little space over here. You may notice that I've also gone ahead and set up some additional battery packs here. The worst thing to point out, however, is that we are shockingly low on food. So I have, once again, reset the farm for heel root to rice, and that should allow us to climb back up a little bit, but it's certainly not a good place to be. So what we are really going to need to start work on is getting this little area out here prepped for a new farm. That really has to be a very, very high priority. I'm not quite sure how we're going to set this one up just yet. I could go with something like having a couple of full fields using the glow lamps, but I'm feeling this design still a little bit more having some discrete areas. Now, thankfully, we've got a little bit of food coming in, but unfortunately, Lady Wolfheart, for example, has already had to resort to eating cooked people, and she's not feeling particularly good about that one, I must confess. We've still got a lot of work that has yet to be done. For example, the room over here hasn't yet been tiled properly, and that is a bit of a problem in and of itself. But gradually, things in the colony are coming together. Now, we have no particular art to sell at the moment, which is a bit of a problem, if I must be honest with you. I'm quite surprised that Ica is in such a good mood despite his catharsis. Okay, well, that's going to run out fairly soon, so that's going to be a bit bad. So at least Dark Aavak can get a few more items of food done in the near future. Now, we do have some steel over here, and we've also got the ranch now being cooled properly. I'm very, very happy with this. We are cooling it down reasonably well with 4 coolers. They are pretty much all running all the time. So they do consume a fairly large amount of power to achieve this. This one is never completely cooled down. No, it doesn't even get to the 25. And that's the way that this one's going to be, really. I could allow it to be a little bit warmer, I suppose, but I don't want people to start working in an excessively hot environment. Ooh, what on earth was that? But the ranch is the one that I really, really need to keep cool, because I want our pets to be well taken care of there. Now, as for our blocks, we need some more slate and we need some more marble, really. Oh, Siphon is heading out possibly to grab some marble. Oh, fantastic. Well done, Siphon. Very, very well done indeed. Very good boy. Lady Wolfheart, probably going to go out to grab the same. Okay, so not too terribly bad. But right now, there's not too much reason for Dark Aavak to go and grab any items and try and make a trade. We need... there's not much that we would be able to buy. I suppose we could buy some meat, but... Oh, really? Did you grab rice to train a donkey? Wow. Just wow. Well, actually, that's a very Dark Aavak thing to do. Take the rice that the rest of the colony is relying on in order to prioritize feeding the animals. Yeah, you know what? I can't actually feel too bad about that one. That seems to be a reasonable thing. At least they're going to have a little bit of food. There you go. 1 meal for a lucky... Oh, really? Did you just take that meal? Did you actually take that meal? I certainly hope not. But I think he may have. That is also a Dark Aavak thing to do. One way or another, these people are going to learn to appreciate the delicacy that is, well, people, I suppose. Right, let's go ahead and finish off this wall a little bit. This room has grown quite a lot, and at the moment we haven't got any particular storage concerns, but that could change very, very easily. I do desperately want to finish off the tiling up here. At least having some nice bedrooms would be a big step in the right direction, I feel. And to that end, let's go ahead and bring up one of these marble beds. Now, how am I setting these up? They're on the outside. Oh, wow, once again. It seems that the game likes to throw me all over the place right now. Sure, we'll have that there. We'll have something similar just over on the other side. Do we have a second? No, unfortunately, we don't. Oh, well. I'll just go ahead and I'll build a copy then. We'll have you right there. As for this one, now this one's a little bit more of a tricky one. Where are we going to place this one? Because it's completely symmetrical at the moment. But the moment I put one of these in, it stops being so. And that is quite distressing, actually. Alternatively, could have the bed there. The fence, you know, blowing cool air down on them. We could have a dresser there, for example. That isn't so bad of an idea, honestly. Maybe we'll do something along those lines. We'll have a central dresser there. We're also going to want some beds, some very, very nice... Oh, that's on the wrong place, actually. Let's pop that one there, that one there. This one can go wherever it wants, and we'll cancel this. There we go. This is going to be delightful. That's an excellent marble end table, and this one is a good one. Okay, these rooms are coming together rather well. The issue is that I am setting this up prior to having all of this fleshed out, which is a bit of a problem, but I guess we're going to have to just live with it for now. And let's finish all of that off there, and then finally, we should be able to get a cooler right about there. Now, hopefully we can get all of that done rather quickly. This is a good marble bed. Very nice indeed. Okay, Lady Wolfheart's actually doing the lion's share of all of the building work right now, and doing a very good job of it as well. Very, very happy to see that happening. We're also going to need to mine out this little area down here, just so that we can access it properly. There we are. Then we'll flesh all of this out. We'll get a little bit grounded there, a little bit grounded down here, and then this will all be a part of the same system. Peps are doing some great work there. Very, very nicely done. Right, let's have a look at this quest. A new quest has become active. It's called Breaking a Trado Out. A prisoner being held by the people of Branna has managed to steal a radio and call you. Trado is being held at a camp near Noble Rest under armed guard. Rescue him and he will join your colony. He's a 52-year-old veterinarian. He says that there's an enemy outpost at the site guarded by 4 enemies, and there may be an unknown threat. I mean, I've missed this opportunity. You may never hear from Trado again. We don't have any more information about Trado, unfortunately. I mean, 52 is not terrible, but it is getting on. And in Rimworld, that can be quite the problem. But still, if we had information about them and could see that, yes, definitely, they have positive skills and no negative skills, then it might be worth taking. But I'm not a big fan of just automatically accepting someone. But we could swing by Shafter and do a little bit of training anyway. It may be worth us considering that one. Whether or not we go for it, we've got 27 days to consider it. I may actually seek some counsel from the comments on this one. If you have an opinion on whether we should try and rescue this prisoner or not, then do let me know in the comments. And on that note, we're also going to need some names for our donkeys as well. Okay, another bedroom on the way to being finished. I'm very happy with this. Once we've got that cooler, this is really going to get quite nice in here, though. That's the point where things get much, much better. Though that being said, there is the potential for air to vent along here because there's only one thick wall. Bit of a shame, that one, but I suppose it's not the worst thing, I guess. I could even move the door over here and just have that as a double thick wall, because that minimizes the amount of area which is single thick for no particular gain. Might be worth us doing. Let's go ahead and fill that out. We're also going to need to haul all of these marble blocks in, and that should enable us to get quite a few things done down there, and Ika doing some good work down here as well. Let's continue with that and draw in this wall. We are going to need to set this up properly. Ooh, now. Well, actually, given that we got a geotherm, we should be okay down here, but still, it isn't the best thing to see. We've still got plenty of food. Why are you using rice when we've got plenty of hay grass? That's somewhat vexing, I must confess. Somewhat vexing, but we'll see how it goes. A group of travelers from Pseudos Alliance are passing by. Do they have anything to trade? It doesn't look like they do, and that's a bit of a shame. I would have liked that, honestly. That would have been quite useful for us. But, you know, they're just on their way, probably to trade somewhere else. They just, they have specific orders, you see. And they don't want to stop by here. There's been curious rumors about the food in this colony, and not everywhere is as enlightened as we wish they were. But we are absolutely going to have to butcher a lot of people. Right now, the entire colony is getting by eating people. Now, that is going to get a little bit worse once we've got... Well, actually, no, you've still got the butchered human. Like, wow. That's reasonably impressive that we're managing to keep people's spirits up despite this. That is very impressive. Perhaps they are slowly coming around. Oh, happy days. See, many people thought it couldn't be done. Many people thought that, no, once someone makes the decision to feel that that eating people is wrong, they'll never change their mind. But perhaps by small steps, Dark Aavak is making progress. Well done. New quest is available, Pods and Hives. I don't like the sound of this one already. A dame of the Broken Empire is having trouble landing near Noble Rest due to repeated infestations. She wants you to draw the bugs to you to be dealt with. This will provide an infestation of 6 hives for nothing of particular value. I'm going to straight up say no on that one. Not interested. Not even slightly interested, in fact. However, what I am interested in is getting some better lighting over here. We need to make sure that there is no potential infestation over here that we didn't invite for all intents and purposes. So let's be certain about that for now. Something like that should do. Now, in terms of keeping this area warm, I'm not sure the amount of heaters that we've got is up to the task, especially if we intend to expand it. So I'm going to build an extra 3. Now, for the most part, they will be powered down. So you don't need to worry about this taking extra power. For example, these ones are in low power mode right now. They're not doing much work, and so they're not having to pull much power. They're only pulling 18 watts, and I'm completely okay with that. I don't think we need to worry over much about that very small amount of energy consumption there. We may add a door over here at some point and then excavate a little bit more. We'll see about that one. I need more slate, though. Quite badly, actually. I can see little pockets of slate here and there, but I think I may have gotten through quite a lot of it. Yeah. Okay, the slate over here can be gathered. In fact, I'll mark all of this to be hauled, because now that we are largely reliant on the room that is available in the shelves, I know that people aren't going to spend too much time out there just grabbing everything and bringing it back, so it should be okay for the time being. There we go. Quite a few items need to be moved around. Dark Aavak is getting some cooking done, because the fancy meals are getting a little bit low, honestly, and that does make Dark Aavak a little bit grumpy. But additionally, we need to make sure there's plenty of food for our wargs. Okay, you can go and have a bit of downtime over there. All right, so things are coming together somewhat slowly, but we will see where things go. The corn is on its way. It's getting up to the 60% mark, and we've got a rice harvest not too far out, and we've got a large hay grass harvest nearing maturity. That should... I imagine these two farms are going to keep this meager ranch going for a while, and once our donkeys... oh, sad wanderer, Ike. Cooked cannibalism. Well, you know, it was going to happen. But once we manage to see our donkeys getting reproducing, then that should help, though I'm a little bit worried about the age of our female donkey. Let's have a quick look. What is the life expectancy of donkeys? Life expectancy is 24, so well, I imagine there's a reasonable chance then that they'll still be able to reproduce. That is what I would really like. If we could get a whole group of donkeys, that would be absolutely fantastic. We've got way too much stuff in here. Let's get this cleared up a little bit. How about we don't butcher any more creatures, please and thank you. Let's stop that. Okay, then fine. We'll do one more. There we are. Let's get everything moved out, please and thank you. Let's get it all moved away, and then we can smelt down what we can smelt down, and we'll burn everything else, and we should be okay. We've got a lot of human leather there. This will at least keep our colonists fed. It won't be food that they particularly want, but it will be enough, I would say. All right, paved tiles. Actually, no, concrete first. Go from around there, and then paved tiles around the perimeter. There we go. That will be our geotherm. Now, as for furniture, with the grow lamps, we'll probably do something very similar to the last area and have something like this on either side. I think that would be fine. We may even have another one then. No, it wouldn't really fit, though, would it? And that will slowly make my brain itch if I do that. No, not even that slowly, actually. So we may have some miscellaneous spots, maybe some new rooms in here. Who knows what we build there. We'll have to see. I mean, this is going to be fairly external to the colony, so it might actually be a staging area for some defensive work. So that may be something we can look into. We will have enough room around the edge, so we want a wall just about there. And since we want to try and make it beautiful for our colonists, we'll go ahead and have this. I know that this does not allow for the maximum amount of tiles. Understand that I am 100% going for a bit of form over function here. I could have an extra 4 tiles of growing there, but honestly, having another farm, an entire another farm, I don't think we're going to need it, frankly. I think we're going to have ample growth space down there, especially with the second geotherm. And we're probably going to do something very similar over here and have another 4 farm plots. It'll all help out in the end, and it'll be quite good, I think. Quite good. Now we do need possibly to get somewhere where we can cremate. I'm thinking that's probably going to be a necessity, honestly. Just a little bit of a pain, if I'm honest. I wonder, can we build that, or what do we need to get for that? Oh no, there we go, an electric crematorium. This may be worth us setting up. If only to get rid of clothing that we don't particularly want. I do want to expand this room out, but we can have a little bit longer on that one, and maybe I could even put it in here, I suppose. I had a different plan for this room, but sure, I suppose we could, for the time being, pop that in there. Can we make it of anything else? Well, we've got granite aplenty. We'd only need 20 steel, so sure. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. We'll also get a comfortable chair if we can. I mean, you know, it's not like we're wanting for that fantastic human leather. Let's get that going. Let's get a crematorium, and then we can do away with these tiles here. In fact, we'll get rid of those right away. Let's go ahead and shrink these zones completely. There we are. There we go. Now I'm going to allow the rest of this to sit there for the time being. We'll allow them to draw in whatever they need in here, and we should be okay for the time being. But the break risks are, yeah, they're pretty excessive right now. Everyone is feeling it. As much as I was fairly happy with how we were managing moods, it's not great at the moment. It isn't great. That being said, Pepster, if we can get you some more human leather clothing, then you will actually be relatively easy to manage. That would be very, very much appreciated. Right, we are going to want to replace this rear wall over here with some... Well, for the time being, I want to build out the granite. But I also want to mine out whatever this is back here. I want to get as much of that as I can. Lady Wolfheart, how are you doing health-wise? Are you doing okay? Yoko? That's getting a bit high. I'm going to have Yoko be restricted to the home zone for now. Siphon, where are you? Let's make sure that you're okay. Have a look at you. You're fine. Okay, well, that's okay then. Insulting spree, evil friend. Well, oh dear. Who are you going for? Bone Dragon, maybe? I guess I could try and arrest him. Might be worth it. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. Dark Aavak, could you arrest him? There's only a 98% chance. You might resist. Okay, has that ended his ranting spree? Maybe it is. Maybe this is enough of a warning. Don't insult people, or we'll have to deal with you. Okay, well, I think it was the side of the wargs, really. I mean, Dark Aavak is pretty intimidating, but literally flanked by his wargs as well. It's like, yeah, doesn't matter how much you think you might be able to take him in a fight. At that point, it's like, nah, just, nope. Yoko snarling menacingly. She can sense, she can read the mood, she can read the room. Siphon is still learning. He's still a pup, really. He's got a ways to go, but he could tell that things could turn sour pretty quickly. So, you know, just following his mother, following his trainer around, learning the ways of warghood. Marvelous. Evil friend, of course, made the right decision. Well done, evil friend. I would be very sad if we had to lose you or lose bits of you. For example, a leg or an arm into a warg. That would make me sad. It would be a bad time. Right, so with this, we can actually have Ica have his own room. Let's go ahead and deconstruct this then. And also this. We are now, well, honestly, we're at the point where everyone can have their own room. Lady Wolfheart, right now, can have her own room. I think that would be a good idea. This is a normal marble bed. Let's go ahead and uninstall that. And install this. This can be a little common room, just dotted around, maybe some recreational furniture in there, just a little spot for people to enjoy. There we go. Oh, this is going truly marvelous. Ica, you can have this one. Let's oh, actually, you know what, Lady Wolfheart, let's get that one to you. There you are. Ica can have this. Here we go. Set owner to Ica for now. Reassign. There we are. That should be awesome. And finally, we can actually make good on this room. It has been a long time coming, ladies and gentlemen. An exceptionally long time. I've been very eager to see this room properly used. Now, how do I want to set this up? Because again, the lack of... This is the problem with making odd sized rooms, but I guess I'll accept it. We could have... How about we just embrace the lack of symmetry here? We embrace it. We can have two exceptionally comfy chairs right there. We want a chess table. It is time to have some proper recreation, everyone. Marble chess table? I think so. Yes, that would be lovely. We can get rid of that steel chess table. We could possibly... Oh, it might be a bit large for this, but a billiards table or a poker table. Maybe that would be the better table to have in here. Billiards table is way too big. But, ooh. If I were willing to have the table, like maybe two tables and then some space for chairs around here, it'd be a bit cramped at that point, I think. It's a shame, because that would have been really rather remarkable. I think it might just have to be the chess table for now. We could make a poker table work if we really tried. But I think for now, we might have that in a different common room. We just want a little bit of stuff over here. That should be fine. We definitely, though, want some marble plant pots. Maybe something in the corners like that. Something like that, yeah. I think that'll work. Do we want human leather comfy chairs by the table? I mean, for a penny in for a pound, I suppose. Though I feel that this is a personal preference, and actually I'm kind of interested in what people might say in the comments on this one. When presented with the opportunity to eat your food in a big plush couch, sometimes I do. Sometimes I will sit in a big plush like armchair and eat my food, especially if it's like more of a snack, rather than like, you know, a full meal on a plate sort of thing. But I find sitting in an armchair up at a table incredibly awkward. Incredibly awkward. So, for the sake of my colonists, I'm going to go ahead. We've got a little bit of wood. Not much. Very, very little, in fact. So, we won't go with wood. We won't go with wood. We will go with steel, I guess. I could actually use plasteel, maybe. Maybe for the extra swank. Do we have much plasteel around? No. You know what? We are going to go with wood. Look, this is true opulence. You might be thinking, wood? Really? You could have this plush, well, plush may be the wrong word, but incredibly comfy human leather armchair, and you're choosing a wooden dining chair. Look, this is a status symbol. We're on a planet that has perpetual toxic fallout. One of the only guaranteed ways of getting wood is cutting down an anima tree and then surviving the horrible psychic wail that emanates for several days. I think making those chairs out of wood is a statement. Very much a statement. Okay, Lady Wolfheart is binging on food because she's so upset about the human cow. Wow, I don't think you've thought this one out, Lady Wolfheart. You're so upset at eating people that you're going to just pig out on food. The only food available? People. Yeah. Not exactly the smartest move, that one. I'm going to be honest with you. That you could have thought that one through a little bit better. You were going to... At least it doesn't you know, get worse and worse and worse over time. That could be quite awful. And welcome back. Okay, so I have set up two builds. In fact, this one should be a bit higher. We have got a redundant build for burning off any apparel that is not biocoded. I can't select non-smeltable here, so I had to go through and manually remove them. Honestly, at that point, I was very tempted to just say, you know what, I'll just leave it to the electric forge. But should there be a time that we have an abundance of tainted clothing that I want to get rid of, and we're also trying to do some important things in the electric forge, like make smelt items down to metal, I do like having the redundancy of these two buildings so that this one will only be working on the tainted apparel and this one might be working on something else. In fact, on that note, I'm going to move destroy tainted apparel and smelt tainted apparel. Well, actually, the smelt tainted apparel will be fairly high. But destroying tainted apparel, so basically burning anything that we're not going to get resources from, we're going to put that at the very lowest priority for the electric smelter as a result. But burning rotten strangers, that might seem like an odd thing to say. Basically, don't burn any corpse that is fresh, because it is potentially extremely valuable resources. Do not burn colonists, even if they have started to rot, as we may be able to put them into a sarcophagus, and maybe some of our colonists, those who are capable of meditating on the topic of life and death, may find that doing so around the sarcophagus of someone they knew, someone they had fostered a relationship with, will be significantly more beneficial to their meditation. We will straight up allow them to burn any stranger corpses, though. Human corpses, yeah, there's no issue with that one. Animal corpses, again, if they are rotten, then it's okay. I am, however, relying on the idea that should any of our animals perish, we will be able to put them in a proper resting place prior to to them starting to rot. I'm going to have to keep a close eye on that. We'll see how it goes. Now this one's taken up to 20, 18. Honestly, how am I going to set these up? I'm probably going to say this one should try and warm this room up to 15. We do want it to be hotter than that. And this one can take it to, let's say, 17. Then this one to 19. Down here, well, the range that we kind of wanted to sit in is a little bit narrower. So let's take this one up to 22, maybe. Maybe 21. Or add this one all the way up to 19. It's a bit of an odd one because you don't want them to overlap, really. If you have them overlapping, then that's not exactly the best scenario for you. You don't want them two heaters to turn on when you only need the output of one. So we'll probably have 15, 16, 17. They're only 1 degree apart, and that's not exactly the best. We've got this one at 24. I guess we'll set this one up at 23. But we'll work with it. We've got a lot of heaters for this space because ultimately we're still going to have more places hooked up to this heating chain. We're going to have a whole other suite of rooms around here pretty soon, actually. So that does make sense for us to set up like that, I think. I think that will actually work out to our benefit reasonably soon. You failed while constructing the marble plant pot. Oh, that's quite a shame. That's quite the shame. Go ahead. You can plant daylilies there, of course. We've got an excellent human leather armchair, of course. Dark Aavak would make an excellent human leather something. A lot of experience working human leather, you understand? There we go. Let's have a quick look. Find out how Pepster does. Pepster's actually getting reasonably good at construction, if I'm honest. Pepster certainly doesn't leave too much to be desired. Oh, Bone Dragon, though. Oh, yeah, it's a very low priority. How about you don't do that, and I have Dark Aavak working on that one instead. And then on... well, I guess Bone Dragon doesn't have a lot that they need to do. But I would prefer someone with actual construction skill working on these items, because we want them to look really quite nice. Now, making a chess table is a fantastically finicky thing to do. It takes a lot of time, that one, an awful lot of time. We are still expanding out down here, though, getting more and more steel, which is fantastic for us. We will fill this in as needed to avoid having large areas at the back here that are exposed, because honestly, that's how you get infestations, and we don't want infestations. Oh no. There we are. Everything else seems to be running reasonably well. We've got plenty of steel now available to us, which I'm extremely happy about. We do need to start considering how we're going to set all of this up now, though. We can go ahead, pop these down, so that means the walkway will be right about here, which means that our wall... that would give us a double thick wall right there. We could have a double wide walkway, I suppose. No particular reason not to, I guess. Not exactly what I was aiming for, but I'm not against it. Let's pop these into position. Once these are set up... Yeah, a load of you are looking at that like, when's he going to notice? When will he notice? I noticed. A little bit late, but I did. That being said, though, how far out is hydroponics? Hydroponics is not a great deal of work to get to. I will set this up, but these ones over here will be hydroponic basins. I might even set up hydroponic basins on this side, simply because they will grow very quickly in a hydroponic room. It is a much more expensive thing to do, but it's going to have a geotherm right in the middle of the room to provide it ample power for that, though. So, oh, it's a good chess table. Oh, that's fantastic. Let's have a look at the overall wealth of this room, then. Somewhat impressive, mediocre in terms of wealth, average size, pretty and clean. Okay. Okay, well, we'll see how that gets better as more bits and bobs are added in. We definitely want some art in this room, I'm thinking. That is a given. We absolutely need some extra art in there. But the bedrooms are ready. They are completed. These rooms should be being maintained at the correct temperatures. We do still need a little bit of work done, but overall, things are coming together. Uh-oh, a party has been thrown. Very well, we'll go and have a look at that in just a moment. Right, Lady Wolfheart is throwing a party. Everyone who goes will gain some extra mood. Oh, they're using the new... Alright, Dark Aavak, you should wake up for this, I think. There we go. Wouldn't want you to miss the party. You managed to get in... the ads have been called off. Did you manage to get any social mood boost? I actually don't know, but let's hope that he did. Let's hope he wasn't too late. Now, hopefully he can get a little bit more food made. We'll see about that one. Right now, Pepsi is doing a good bit of work with research, and that is definitely something we need. Intellectuals all the way up to 10. He's learning 35% slower, though. I don't think anyone in the colony actually has a passion for intellectual work. It's a bit of a shame. No, it is ultimately just Pepster, unfortunately, but oh well. Right, now, an aurora. Beautiful. The undulating colours will boost the mood of anyone outside to see them and make the night brighter. Lovely. Right, now with this, I'm just going to stick down a grow zone just so that I've got a marker on the ground. Then we are going to set up some walls. We want a marble wall going all the way around the inside of this area. All the way out here. That's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Walkway in a wall. There we go. And this will be our boundary. We'll have granite down here. Honestly, the cladding is fine to place in right now, and then I can cancel the marble for the time being. Especially on that side. Just until we have the outer wall correctly set up. Now, on this side, if I go ahead and... Well, it's not going to work for me there, unfortunately, is it? No. We're going to need to get rid of these. These are going to be for hydroponics specifically, I suppose. Down here, oops, I really shouldn't have that being so. We'll delete that, that's fine. Though it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So pretty much the same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want a space, then the marble, or then the granite can exist. Right about there. Now, on this side, we are going to want some ways in and out for our colonists. Let's go ahead with granite doors, of course. The marble will be down there. We could have the door about here, I suppose. Let's have a think. Right now we've got steel on that side, and I'm okay with that. I'm thinking a double thick granite there to create just an extra little bit of a barrier to entry. I could even make a little airlock if I was particularly interested in it, because this is going to be an external wall. So we would have a marble door there, for example, a little pathway, and then maybe a little 2 wide area here, and then a granite door. Then the granite wall would build out like this to create a proper border where enemies aren't easily going to be able to get in. I'm liking that idea. I like that idea a lot, actually. So we're going to expand this out just so that I can get in there and fill this in, and we will indeed fill that in as well, just to make sure that we don't have to worry about that. But this will not be there, and instead we will have a marble door, just because it'll be pretty. It'll be nice for the internals, and then the marble walls then will build up around either side. I'll do that for now. I will cancel this just so I got easy access to build that wall. But that's going to be the first airlock into this area. Double thick granite walls. It should strongly discourage anyone from shenanigans there. We're going to want something similar on this side though as well. And in much the same way, I'm going to say, we've got the marble there. Marble will come down here. So something like that. And we'll pop these in place. There we go. And oops, pressed the wrong cancel there. There we go. So we'll have enough room for. It's a little bit more awkward on this side, and it's awkward on this side for the same reason. That's why we're having to build into the wall over there. I should move this door across a little bit. Now the reason why I say it's awkward is for me to have a double thick wall on this side, I would need to build out and ruin the shape of the box. And it's not quite what I would like to do. So let's cancel that a little bit. And in fact, Down here, I'm going to allow it because it actually does add an extra layer of defense on this part of the mountain, and I'm okay with that. But instead, over here, we'll just move it one tile further over, and this will give us all that we need for the room that we want. There we are. And of course, whilst we're doing that, I will have to cancel these blocks so that I can get in there and build the granite blocks without any problem. But the reason why I'm having the doors inset is because it forces our enemies to filter in one at a time. In fact, I'll go as far as to do this. Something like that. Now this is specifically to prevent enemies from over here shooting over or trying to shoot over the backs of their allies. Now, if you wanted to make this ultra clean, ultra difficult for them to deal with, you'd have sandbags here and here so that they can't easily stand here and use this as cover to shoot in, because they will otherwise. But this is more for us to deal with. And I might set something up like this because I suspect that this is going to end up with a lot of work. There's going to be a lot of activity around this area, I think. In terms of the enemy trying to get through here. So I'll probably set up something very similar on this top section as well. So we've got 2 and then a wall, and we'll have some sandbags there. It will mean that when our colonists are exiting this area, they have to go over the sandbags. They'll slow them down a little bit, but I don't mind too much, if I'm perfectly honest. This will be somewhere for us to have 6 of our colonists stacked up. 3 melee specialists, 3 range specialists, and force our enemies to approach one at a time, single file through this corridor, so that all of our people can attack them, but they can't easily do the same. At most, there'd be 1 person up front, and then 3 people behind them. And if I really, really want to do, I could have sandbags to further that. But I'm trying to avoid the obvious strategies that I would use in a kill box where I can. I'm enjoying playing around with this a little bit more and having a more real feeling colony in that regard. I'm trying to avoid cheesing the game's AI where possible, just to, I guess, increase the difficulty a little bit, but also just to allow for some more aesthetically pleasing colony builds. Quite often, in order to make the most use out of tactics that will confound the enemy AI, you have to build in very specific, less pleasing ways, in my opinion. And I'm trying to avoid that at the moment where I can. There we go, let's get all of that going. This should not take us over long to do. Siphon, how are you doing health-wise? You're doing really well. Well done, Siphon. Well done. I'm very happy with this. Look at everyone's moods. People are in incredibly high spirits. Catharsis is doing a good job. A very good job, actually. I approve. I approve enormously. At this point, I might be able to even encourage most people to just be happy with eating people. I don't think we're ever going to quite get there, but maybe with a bit of effort and time, we might be able to convince our colonists. Now, this one needs to be at 17 degrees. So let's pull this one down to 17. And that will make sure that that is in low operation mode. All of the rooms here, fairly well set up. Now, this one needs to be, I'm going to say 23. Set that one down to 23. And that should keep this in a very nice little area. And all of these rooms, pretty much the same. Oh, that's glorious. 25 in a few spots, but that is absolutely fine. Now, have we run out of human leather? We have. That's a bit of a pain. Pepster's in a sour mood. Let's have a look at you. Ugly environment, 6, sweaty. Yeah, it is quite warm outside, to be fair. Dark Aavak, I think it's time for us to butcher the remaining prisoner. Well, they're not prisoners. The remaining raiders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, sorry, 7. I can count sometimes. All right, hopefully Dark Aavak can take care of that. The solar flare is going to be a potch, though. That is actually quite bad. Maybe now is not the time for that, then. In fact, suspend that for now. Dark Aavak, don't butcher them. None of them should spoil in too many days. It's still quite cold in this freezer, but it's going to warm very quickly. This is a bad time. This is an unfortunately very bad time. Solar flares are truly the worst. The worst of all of the problems for us to face. Especially when it's so warm outside right now. Oh well, there's not a lot we can do about it. We're just going to have to hope, really. That's all we can do. We'll go ahead. Now, another thing we can do is we can have weapons in these little areas, but we're not setting these up strictly as combat areas. Yes, they are external to the colony, and so there is a higher chance than normal for this to be a place where we are going to have to fight. But I don't consider this a killing area, so I'm not going to put weapons in there. I don't think that makes any sense for what we're doing here. Let's go ahead and set this up. There we are. And we'll do exactly the same on this side, I think. Something like that would be quite nice. There we go. The marble door will be just down there. Right, a new quest has become available. It's called a glittering structure. We would need 540 sandstone, granite, limestone, slate, or marble blocks. I think we'd be able to do this. Any metallic, woody, or stony, 511. What will we get back from it? Neurotrainer medical. That's quite nice. 22 goodwill. This is the Studos Alliance, requiring that you build a monument to reduce feelings of decay amongst their people. It's 11 by 19. It's quite a large structure, to be sure. You get some plasteel or a neurotrainer. The medical neurotrainer is actually quite a nice one. But the gold, equally so. If we could make a couple of gold statues. Goodwill. I mean, it's nice, but we'll probably be able to build this up regardless, I would say. I'm actually quite tempted to accept this. Quite tempted. We would be able to complete it within 23 days fairly easily. After completion, you must protect the monument for 33 days. If any piece of it is destroyed, Trev's enforcement system will activate, and a pack of 8 man-hunting mega sloths will arrive. Oh. Now, what you might be thinking is, oh, that's not good. What I'm thinking is, if we were in dire straits and desperately needed the meat, I could intentionally deface the monument to encourage 8 mega sloths to arrive, half of which would probably be butcherable. Even one would provide an awful lot of meat. I can see almost no downside to this. Almost no downside. That being said, let me have a quick look at our current doctors. Dark Aavak has a doctoring skill of 13. Let's see what that chimes out to. A strong expert, and Lady Wolfheart is an 8. An employable professional. The neurotrainer given to Lady Wolfheart would bring both of our medics up to a pretty solid amount of skill. And Lady Wolfheart, though, is going to learn faster from performing any doctoring, so maybe needs the less help. Dark Aavak could be brought up quite high, and at that point might be able to do some really amazing things, especially with some of the surgeries that we are no doubt going to want to start setting up. That one we're going to have to look into. Our power is back on, though, and that's the main thing. So we should start seeing the temperature in here dropping quite quickly. Nothing was lost, I don't think. Okay, so with that, we will go ahead and unsuspend the butchering of human lives. Now we've got a couple of extra meals as well, so hopefully Dark Aavak will continue with that. Though I have been noticing we have been getting some wool already, and 91% there as well. What's sheep wool down there? 45. This is actually rather good. I must confess I'm exceptionally happy about that. That's going to allow us to make quite a few lovely insulating items. We are on a climate cycle though, so it's going to be a little while before we get to the point where we're going to start seeing those blisteringly cold winters. But when the time comes, we'll have some nice sheep's wool parkas to cuddle into. Seems quite good. A digger from the Green Yak Combat is passing by. Here's named something hanger. Oh my lord, Noxco. I'm going to go with that. But I think that's where we're going to be wrapping up today's episode with a flash storm as well. Oh, how dramatic. We have finished these bedrooms to the point that people are now using them as bedrooms. And this is truly a wonderful time. We have some, we've got a lovely little common room over here. It's a secondary dining room. Down here, we've got the rec room, somewhat impressive. I would like to merge this entire room out with time, and I'm thinking maybe get an Ica over there sooner rather than later is the way to do that, and then we can build out these rooms completely, and we'll be able to do some really fancy things in here. Perhaps a billiards table, perhaps a poker table too. Who knows? But that's all going to be for the next episode. Do let me know if you can think of any good punny. Let's be honest. We're going with a pun theme. I guess we're gonna just have to accept it. We need 2 punny names for the donkey. So allow your creative juices to run wild and send your best and indeed probably your worst puns to me in the comments. But that is going to be it for me. Let me know which of the quest rewards you think we should go for the glittering structure, and ultimately whether you think we should go and try and break Trado out. It's a bit of a journey, but not too much. Probably 2 days away from the colony. I imagine it won't take Dark Aavak too much effort to go and get it if I just send him, but maybe not even that much longer if I send him with Evil Friend as well. But that is going to be it from me. So until next time, and as always, do take care.